Hello everybody, I'm Joe Holley, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite rivers in Texas, one that a lot of Texans don't really know about unless they happen to live in the Panhandle. I'm talking about the Canadian River. And just to clear up a misperception that some people might have, the Canadian has nothing to do with our neighbors to the north, although the name might have come from French fur trappers coming down the Arkansas River and then going up into the Canadian. We don't know. John Graves always had this idea that the name for the river came from cañada, ravine or gully. Regardless of its lack of notoriety, it's an amazing river, particularly as John Erickson said, John Erickson of Hank the Cowdog fame. It has so many great stories and so many colorful people. I mean, there were Clovis people, for example, living eons ago along the Canadian. There were Buffalo Creek people living along the river until the 1500s. Coronado came across the Canadian. Kit Carson was up and down the Canadian chasing Comanche and Kiowa. In 1874, at something called the Second Battle of Adobe Walls, 27 buffalo hunters were besieged by Comanche and Kiowa under the leadership of a young chief named Quanah Parker. In the midst of that battle, the youngest of the buffalo hunters got off a shot with his Sharps rifle that brought down a warrior on a horse on a mesa 3/4 of a mile away. That young man was named Billy Dixon, and he ended up spending the rest of his life along the Canadian River. And in his autobiography, he talked about how there was good air, there was good soil, and there was room to walk around without stepping on somebody's toes. What I find interesting about the Canadian is not only the stories, but it still feels that way. There's something mystical about this river. And if Billy Dixon, who died in 1913, if he were still with us, he could still find places along that river where he could move around without stepping on anyone's toes.